So I'm going to need you to stop getting in your way. Stop being afraid. And I know that's difficult, but once I show you this perspective, I'm hoping that that will change your mind about how you see your reality. Reality, of course, is subjective, but once you see what I'm seeing, I think you'll be calmer and not allow fear to prevent you from getting to the next level. It's no secret that fear is useful in some cases, and in other cases, it's not. That's why we have the fight or flight response, or as I like to call it, the fate or fear response. And fear is preventing you from moving to your next destination. Faith is the courage that allows you to keep going against all odds, right? And so you can either run away from the challenge of becoming who you're supposed to be, or you can fight and continue to upgrade yourself. Identity engineering, which is the framework I'm working on, is all about pushing the boundaries, manipulating your identity, pushing the boundaries of your identity upgrade so that you can continue to uh, move in the direction you want to go while maintaining that identity equilibrium. All of this will make sense as we continue to progress through all of these videos because I believe I'll be building towards something unifying. Right now, it's still very raw in my mind, but I'm hoping over time to make it more structured and really a framework that can be very useful. So, fear. We're talking about fear, right? In the framework from the previous video, I talked about how identity is like a manifold with several bundles, right? And each of these bundles have its own very unique, complex configuration. But at a high level, intuitively, when you decide to construct an identity layer into this manifold, it starts looking for a pairing in reality, right? It looks for this pairing to it, right? And the stronger this particular layer that you are working on, right? The stronger the pairing on that reality fiber or that reality target. I guess I'm trying to figure out the best word to to try to articulate this. So, with that said, once once this pairing exists, which takes some time, right? There's a time cost to this. Then, as one continues to strengthen that particular layer, right, they continue over and over to work on themselves. What happens is, number one, if the fiber does not exist, what's going to happen is it's immediately going to join the infinite layers of potential domains in reality. And then as soon as that happens, the next thing is the force of the um, of the identity configuration is going to be pushing on this particular domain. It's going to be curving it, and that curvature is also going to be contributing to a larger curvature in reality. And so basically, this is the individual using the conscious awareness pushing against reality. Technically, this looks like a sphere, right? We're surrounded by reality, and we have our own identity bubble, and within is the conscious observer, right? It's a little complicated, but and I'm hoping to make the framework makes more sense to articulate, right, and to be applied to different circumstances. But what happens is, let's say we're looking at this particular leaf, right, and you can actually watch how it curves. Sorry, there's a lot going on here, but just imagine this is the particular um, particular direction of that layer. And there's so many different things going on around, because in your identity, it's not just one piece. Sometimes you're a father, sometimes you're a son, you're a brother, you're a daughter, you're a mother, you're a sister, right? You're an engineer, you're a doctor, right? There's so many different things that form this structure. And each of them, according to this model, is saying it maps to some of that specific domain that exists in our shared reality experience, right? And so what happens is fear makes this particular fiber in the identity manifold. Let's try to keep the naming the same or consistent from video to video. And so what happens is fear is going to make this really rigid, right? And if this is super rigid, then it's not adaptable. You need to be adaptable. And if it's not adaptable, then it can't continue to interface with its mapping to reality. It can't bend the curvature of reality consistently, because it's really in a rigid state, and it's not adaptable, and it's not able to be easily manipulated in a moving system. The identity is a moving, dynamic system, right? But what faith does is faith makes this a bit more flexible. Oh, I know that I need to get there. I'm not gonna be stuck in my own ways. If I need to shift, if I need to innovate, if I need to iterate, I believe I can get there, and I'm willing to do what it takes to get there. Right. Another way to look at this is a big word that people are throwing around these days: neuroplasticity. Right. You can easily adapt. The manifold is flexible enough to continue to interface with the I don't know why I made this a squiggle, because this, in our previous video, this implied that this is an emerging. It could be too, but for the sake of simplicity, this is not an emerging domain. This is an established domain, right? So because of neuroplasticity, you can continue to, the conscious a conscious awareness within can continue to manipulate the identity manifold so that the particular fibers can connect to a specific layer in reality. And as reality continues to shift, as reality continues to bend, right, and morph itself, right, the layers continue to adapt to ensure that that connection continues until the desired outcome is established, right, and the likelihood begins to, and the layer continues to curve enough for that reality solution, that result, to enter into the actual conscious reality, the actualization of the result, rather. So living in fear is going to constrict your ability for identity to adapt, to be flexible, right? And that's going to prevent you from trying. It's going to prevent you from doing what it takes to sustain the actual push against reality. If you can't sustain that pairing with reality and continue to manipulate reality, then you can't produce the curvature that you need to increase that high probability that you get what you want, what you desire. So stop living in the space of flight and start fighting. Stop living in fear and start believing that you can adapt, and that your reality is not rigid. So that is all. I hope that makes sense, right? And if there's something practical you want to hear, we can talk about that in the next video. Of course, thank you. I hope this makes sense at a high level. A lot of this for me is feeling a bit more intuitive, but I want to try to distill it down to some kind of actual system, something more systematic, something with a bit of structure, right, that can be applied across multiple different queries and different case studies. So my name is Obi. I really want to say thank you again. Thank you a million for watching this video. And I'll see you in the next one.